This is the sheet for making the rotating arm. First step, as usual, is to trace along all the dotted lines. There are 4 main pieces, A, B, C, and then this little hinge as well. So don't throw away the little hinge. There's a couple pieces labeled discard. You can throw those away when you cut those out. But first we're going to do some tracing. I'm going to do the tracing before I do any cutting. Next step is to cut along all the solid black lines. B has a couple short lines on each end that need to be cut. You also need to cut out these thinner solid black lines. We're going to start at this end of part A. This is the end that's actually going to catch the marble and actually hold on to it as it rotates, and then drop. Let's go over the marble. These are each going to bend upward to make valley folds. Now this might be a little difficult for you to see, but you're going to tape these tabs together so that they overlap and cover up that checkered pattern. And to do that, I'm going to put a piece of tape on a corner that doesn't have the checkered pattern and line it up with a piece that does, so it just barely covers up the checkered pattern like that. Push that down and then fold it around the outside. So I'm going to put a piece of tape on this corner right here. I'm going to line it up so it's just barely covering that checkered pattern. About there. Push that down, fold it over. Let me show you one more time. Helps if the piece sticks out over the top a decent amount, right there. Line it up with the checkerboard pattern, squeeze it down, push it over. Do that for all 4 joints on each side. Push, fold over. Right, so that's going to catch the marble. Next step, these will fold in the opposite direction. These are going to fold backwards. So I'm going to fold all 4 of these right along the creases. I'm going to fold these all along the dotted lines, I should say. I'm going to take these 2 flaps, it doesn't matter which one you put on top, these 2 overlap. Don't try to hold it in the air while you're doing this because it can end up with a twist very easily. So I'm going to lay this down on the table, push this down, I'm going to put some tape along here. I'm going to have it go over this end just a little bit, so it's sticking out over this end. I'm going to fold this over into the inside a little bit, just like that. Now we're almost done with this piece. I'm going to tape this on the outside right here. I'm going to put a piece of tape across here and across here to hold this curved part to the column here. Alright, there you go. Do part B next. All the long folds here get folded back. So all these folds get folded back, and these little ones are going to get folded in the opposite direction. They're going to get folded up. So these are valley folds. The long ones are mountain folds, and the short ones are valley folds. So I'm going to put this piece down on here. I'm going to put a piece of tape right in the middle. Put a little piece over this end. And next I'm going to push it around the inside. And I want to tape these two tabs together as well. So I'm going to put one more piece right here and go around the inside. Alright, so on one end we have just one flap sticking out. The other end we have two flaps. It should look like this when you're done. Finally, we're going to do part C, which is the easiest. These just all get mountain folds. So I'm going to put this on his back and fold along all the dotted lines. Just like that. This is similar to a column. So after you've folded it, you're going to take two flaps, fold them towards the inside, and one from the other side. And this is where I'm going to put the tape right here. I put one piece in the middle to kind of hold it there, and then one at each end. And I make sure it goes over the end, fold it around the corner like that. Do the same thing at this end, fold it around the corner like that. And that is part C right here. With the hinge, you're just going to fold, make a valley fold like that. I'm going to attach part A to part B, and it attaches so this little flap, the end that has just one flap, is going to push right up against here. This end of A, make sure that it's the side that has the writing A, is going to face the letter B here. And you're going to stand this up just like that, and I'm going to put a piece of tape across here, across that flap. And right now this can still bend out, so we need to put some more tape at this end to stop that from happening. Put a piece across here, across the back of part A, and back onto part B. You should end up with a right angle, 90-degree angle like that. I'm also going to put a piece of tape across the end here, make it a little bit stronger. Alright, so now we have parts A and B are now connected. Now to part C, I'm going to tape this together, and it really doesn't matter which way it faces. These two lines are just to make sure you get it centered. So I'm going to use that as a guide right here. I'm going to put it on top. I'm going to hold that in place. Make sure it's pushed all the way in and it's not out like this. Pushed all the way in. Line up those two little lines. Right, like that, so it's centered. I put a piece of tape across here. Turn around and do this side as well. Now make sure that it can twist a lot right now, so I'm going to go ahead and stop that from happening. I'm going to put a piece of tape across here. And the other side over here as well. And then I'm going to do the bottom. Just across here. Alright, and that is the whole piece right here. It's kind of an odd looking thing. And the last part is to put the hinge on. The hinge will attach right onto part A, and it should say on there, hinge attaches here. And to know where to put it, you just put the bottom edge of this right up against part B. And this bend should line up right where that says hinge should attach here. So I'm going to put it right like that. So maybe there's a little bit of a gap there. That should be lined up right around there. Put another piece down here. So I have two pieces of tape on there. So this will hold on to the column, and when there is no marble in there, it will stand up like this. When a marble lands in here, the weight of that will make it tip forward. First, you need two beams that are attached one on top of the other. The top one should be 12 centimeters higher than the bottom one, meaning the top edge of this one should be 12 centimeters higher than the top edge of this one. The curved part of this should line up with the top of the top beam, and the hinge will be attached to the back side of this beam right here. Here you can see where I've attached the hinge, and it should stay in a vertical position as long as there is no marble in there. You'll also need a plan for where the marble will come out, and what I've done here is I've added a shelf sticking out from a beam, and I've placed a straight track there. You might want to use a catch. It'll be a lot easier. It won't matter if it's tipping a little left or right, and it will still land in the catch because it's much wider than a straight track.